Okay, in this segment, we're going to do readline instead of reading the whole file. Now, f.readline reads a single line from the file. And when you encounter a new line character, which is backstroke n, it's left at the end of the string and is only omitted on the last line of the file if the file doesn't end with a new line. Now, this makes the return value unambiguous. If the read line returns any empty string, that means we have come to the end of the file. So that means it's reading line by line. When it encounters /n, okay, that means we need a new line. At the end of the file will be an empty string. We have come to the end of it. So we are doing this. F is equal to open 1.csvr. Notice that we haven't closed the file or built into the close as we mentioned before. So run this. And now we're reading the first line. Okay, so that's what this is, reading the first line. And then when we run this again, we're reading the second line, and on it goes. So essentially, this is a little bit like what we did earlier here, except that we're doing it manually in a slow manner. So next thing is we do need to close the file by running that. So if you want to read lines from a file, you can loop over the whole file object. This is memory efficient, fast, and leads to a simple code. You first have to create an empty list with open file, open.csv as f. For line in f, you append the so-called line that is read. Remember, we are reading so-called from f for each line. Okay, we are actually extracting it, and then we're stripping the actual /n of it and then append it into file data. Okay, make sense? Hope that is actually useful. So run that. Okay, and when you actually f close means has the file been closed? The answer is yes. So when you actually print file data, and this is what you get, everything is actually stored into a list here. Okay, so that's really some of the so-called method that you have here is actually to read the files line by line. Okay, and that's one of the way that we can actually attack this. Okay, so having done that, what we'll do next is actually attempt to write this contents to the file. Okay, and returning the number of characters within. So we have this new line here that we create, and we open testfile.csv and write. Okay, and we write this new line into the test file, and then when we close it, basically that means that it will be stored into the file itself. Now, how do we know whether this has been done successfully? You can actually write the code if you want to. What I just want to do now is just, what is the file called? Testfile.csv. So let's just select this and have a look. And you'll see that, there we go. It's been successfully written into the file itself. So if you actually have a lot of data, you can again use the for loop to actually save line by line. Right, that's really these very, very straightforward topics that I wanted to cover on reading and writing files using Python. You can use, of course, the read function, you can use the readline function, and finally the write function here. So with that, I'm going to end this video. We're going to move into Deshaun after this.